And welcome back to Hannity. So the alt-radical left, as I call them, is trying to create chaos all over the country. Now, in the last segment, we showed you a video of a man the day after election being brutally beaten in Chicago by an angry mob who thought, what? He was a Trump supporter. Now, instead of condemning his behavior, some members of the alt-radical left are saying this.
What do you say to the people who dragged a poor white guy out of a car and beat him?
Oh, my goodness, poor white people, please, stop. Stop it, Carl. What I say to people that protest is that, first of all, apparently has never been an acceptable...
Here with reaction from The Hill, Joe Concha, and from the Washington Times, Fox News contributor Monica Crowley. What a double standard. You've got a picture. You just showed me. This is amazing.
My favorite prop.
This is show this prop. Let's fan in hard on this.
So a little
After
context.
the election, it says, how will Trump followers react if they think it's stolen?
Right.
You got burning cities, anger, fury. By the way, all white people.
AR-15s are in there also, Sean. So
yeah, exactly. AR-15s.
So that's from the Week magazine, and they never considered that what happens if Trump wins and how will Clinton supporters react. That looks a lot like Portland to me. Right now.
Right.
But instead, and if you know that if this were the case where Trump supporters were protesting, that obviously we wouldn't be trying to explore their feelings and give them national platforms to talk about their anxiety and their fear. They would be dismissed as racist, xenophobic,
and kids at school wouldn't be told, we've got to work with your feelings. It'll be okay.
It would be a slightly different narrative.
Yeah, a little counseling time.
You know what we've learned over the last 8 years of President Obama's presidency is that there is a professional left and there are professional protesters that are funded and orchestrated and organized by the professional left, including people like George Soros, that funds this. But what we also know, Sean, is that for 8 years, these protests that you're seeing now, which are fizzling out, what we know is that when the radical left has the president and the presidency and the White House, it amplifies their sense of importance, it amplifies their size, it amplifies their megaphone because they have the president backing them up and supporting them. Now that this leftist president is on his way out, that's why these protests are falling apart. They're still organized, they're still out there, they're still getting media attention. But with this president, you know, 1 foot on the banana peel, they are not having the effect that they did when their chief sponsor was sitting in the Oval Office.
I spent, Joe, a lot of time in my opening monologue tonight talking about the media and how wrong they have been. So I call it the alt-radical left media. I've said journalism's dead. So you've got Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton. In the case of Obama, he's invited the alt-radical left. Move On, Occupy Wall Street. Black Lives Matter had FaceTime with the President of the United States, people that were chanting, what do we want, dead cops, when do we want them now, and pigs in a blanket fry them like bacon. Now, are they not guilty of the very thing they're accusing Trump of, embracing the most radical elements, Hillary seeking Black Lives Matter support?
Well, I think you won't have to worry about that come January 20th. That's one thing that you can take solace in. I look at more the media angle of all this, Sean, and here's what you need to know. A guy named Reed Wilson, he works for The Hill. He compiled all the major endorsements that Hillary Clinton got. Out of 59 papers, Hillary Clinton got 57 endorsements. Donald Trump, 2. You know what those endorsements got Hillary Clinton? A concession speech. So this shows you that the influence of the media is now a fraction of what it used to be, because if people listened to what they were saying, Donald Trump loses by 20 points.
Who's going to hold CNN feeding questions to Hillary to help her cheat, or colluding with the DNC in what questions they should ask Donald Trump? Who's going to hold the New York Times or Politico allowing editor privilege for the candidate? You know, who's going to hold John Harwood of CNBC?
I'll tell you who.
Who?
The American consumer, the viewer.
They already did?
Because if you can see it in the ratings, and when the ratings go down, revenue goes down. So, number one, I think the corporate parents of these organizations should be holding their networks responsible, okay? So it should go further than the chairman of these networks. It should go up to the corporate heads. They should be answering for this. But you can also vote with your remote control, and you can vote with your subscriptions.
Right,
you see
vote
the New York Times falling apart.
Yeah,
of course,
exactly.
Sean, at 10.
No, but there's a cabal. I noticed, for example, you're kind of a lone wolf. There's the pipsqueak, you know, Jeff Zucker stenographer, this kid, Brian Stelter, right? He lives in Jeff Zucker's office, I'm told. And him and Dylan Byers, they don't report on their own network. They are Fox obsessed. They're stalkers in many ways. If there's one little thing they don't like on Fox, or Hannity's not a journalist and he has a show, hello, I've been here 21 years. Shocking revelation. Fox News alert. but yet they don't report on their own networks and their own collusion and their own corruption that has been so manifest, so many examples in this campaign. How do we ever trust these people again, or should we never?
Well, if you look at trust in media, 6%, Associated Press study in April, 6% of the American public has a high confidence in the media.
Is that why you purposely avoid that relationship that exists on Twitter and everything else with the group, the cabal of all the media people?
That's a different kind of elite crowd. I repurpose my dinner table when I have parties to play beer pong. All right, I'm a different kind of guy. Look.
By the way, me and Monaco fit in great. You know,
this isn't just my opinion as far as is there media bias. Yeah. You know, some media reporters, elite media reporters, will say, you know, only some Americans believe that. USA Today poll. This is all you need to know. They asked, who do you think, 1,000 likely voters, not Republicans, Democrats, 1,000 likely voters, who do you think the media is rooting for in this election? By a 10-to-1 margin, they said Hillary Clinton.
All right, guys, thank you both. And thanks for being a fair guy. I know you're much more fair than the other people in your business.
Let's put it this way. I voted for a Clinton, and I voted for a Bush in my lifetime.
Oh, isn't that nice? Sorry to hear that. Clinton vote. All right.